is.
Oranges are two.
All right, how are y'all doing?
Fine. Good. How you doing?
Good, good.
Good afternoon.
I think it's evening now.
Different time zone.
We could hear you much better now.
All right, so Naomi had a question. Let me try to throw some light on this. Okay. The assignments, the ones with the pie, okay, the ones that are paced, the ones that are in your learning path, okay, they all have I'm not going to say it's a nebulous, but there's other things thrown in there with it. So what you always do to get back where you start is to go to learn.
Can you just show me how you go back? Because I'm on there right now and I really can't. I'm trying to see where I'm at. Sorry.
All right, I say I got to go back in as a student here because mine doesn't work the exact same way. Alex is a strange animal. All right.
Yes, it is.
So because we started this, then we cannot go back in. I can't. I mean, I don't know what your scenario is. So I got to submit this in order to go back. But let me just state here is if you can't get back to something, go to learn and it will put you back in the same path that you were in before. All right. Learn and assignments are the ones that you look at. So if you somehow got out of your queue or you think you're out, then you go back to learn.
You go up to where the 3 lines are at the top.
Yeah, that's the 3 lines.
And then it'll come out. You'll see.
You can also see them in this, but if you click on that, it's going to take you back to the path. All right. And if you got other stuff in your path, that are prerequisites, they're going to keep showing in there until you conquer them. Okay. And since this is in progress, see, I can't go back to that. So if I'm in anything else, you got to go back to this first. All right. So let me share. Oh, you know what? I wasn't sharing the screen when I was doing that. That would be helpful. Well, I thought I was sharing the screen. Oh, you got it. There we go. So learn right here. See that, and you can always get back to it here. Click on that and go to learn. I can't get into it because I got this open. So that's got to be done first. So that learn, by clicking on learn, always takes you back where you're supposed to go.
I'm gonna throw stuff at me. You don't throw your toys.
All right. So what else can we look at? You want me to just keep going through? Let's go back over here. I wanted to get some of these survey problems. So we looked at that. We looked at that. All right, so this is a good one to look at. This one's already done for us. They're not asking us to fill it in. So what we've got are the 3 sections filled in. That's what I was, so you got this one, and that one. And those all make up a region. This is coffee only. This is coffee and tea. This is tea only. And that's none of the above, none of them. So if we want to find out how many drink coffee, how could we do that? Because this is asking, do not drink coffee.
At 111 and 34.
Well, but what do we look at though? How do we know which numbers to look at? All right, I'll tell you what I want to do to try to make this clear. This is coffee here. So I'm going to hash it out to kind of get rid of it. So the ones that are left are the people who don't drink coffee, because they drink coffee only. They drink coffee and tea, but both of those are coffee. So
34 students do not drink coffee.
what about 111 don't drink coffee? They drink chocolate milk or something. We don't know what they drink, the ones on the outside. But it's not just these, because they don't drink coffee and these don't drink coffee. So 34.
145.
145. Good. And what does this next one mean?
Everybody.
So those are the people that drink
Both.
both coffee, tea, and the outside people as well.
Very good. That's what we call the union right there. The union. And you'll see that with Alex. They'll give you this scenario over and over when they mean the union. Coffee, tea, or both. So this is coffee, that's tea, and that's both. So we just add those up. So 289. All right. So on this one, it's
43.
do
Oh
not
no,
drink
because it'll be the middle. So
coffee, but not tea.
it'll be 48.
So this is coffee, and we don't want these in there because that's tea drinkers also. They drink coffee and tea, and they drink tea only. So this is the 43. They drink coffee, but not tea. It doesn't say, if they'd said not tea, then we would also do that one like we did for A, but 43 is what we want. Okay. All right, questions? We're going to have a couple more like this, so let's see. I want to go in specific order. They're a little bit, let's just leave that one for last. That's the 3. Here's one we can fill this in. All right, so we got a 2-set Venn diagram here. And they surveyed 244 freshmen to find out what kind of music they like. And the 2 choices were classical and jazz. Classical and jazz. All right. And this is the way it pans out. 173 like classical, so that whole red circle has to have 173 in it. The jazz has to have 65 in it, the blue one. And both is going to be right here. What do you think we could start at?
They're classic.
Classical.
Both is
Both.
always
Oh,
a good place. So
Yeah.
both, where does that go at?
In the middle.
In the middle. Good. Now, does that mean now that I'm just going to put 173 right here
Yes.
Yep.
and 48 right here?
Yes.
Yes.
And then what do we put here? Then
None.
you're forgetting something here.
Oh, two.
Okay, let me see if I can make
Wait a
this.
minute.
This whole red circle has to have 173 in it.
Right.
So if we put 173 here, then we've got more than
65
173.
there.
So what we got to do is we got
244
to take
minus
173 minus the 48. And so 125 goes right here.
Oh,
So
wow.
now how many, or what's the sum of the numbers in the red circle? $173. So those are right now. All right. So how can we find out what goes here? Well, we're going to take
Don't
the
subtract.
65,
And subtract
right,
43.
minus 48. So 17 goes there. All right. Now, how do we find out what goes out here?
Add them all.
Add them all. Good, good. So that's 190. I'm going to save that. And what do we do with that 190? We're going to subtract it from 244. Because remember, 244 is all of the folks that were surveyed. So now, if we subtract all of these, then what's left over are the ones that like rock music, whatever. We don't know what they made because there was only 2 choices for them to take. So they had other category. So now we've got that filled in. All right, that was good, Emily. You got it. Yeah. So now, well, let's answer our questions. When we got all 4 of them filled in, we can answer the questions. So how many freshmen like classical, but not jazz?
125.
Yeah, 125. That's why you got to subtract, because those are the ones that like classical only. 48 like both. All right. So what is this one asking for? Freshman like classical or jazz or both?
48.
That's both, but what about classical or jazz? 48 is going to go in there because that's both. See this? This 48 in both. That's what that is.
Oh, 120. You can plus, you can add the 120.
And this is the classical and this is the jazz. So we're going to just add all of these. So 190, like classical or jazz or both. Or in other words, that's the union of all of them. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Questions about this?
Where,
All right. Let's
I
see
do
what
have one
else we-
question. That
What's that?
54, where did you get that 54 from again?
It's the 190 subtracted from 244.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Because all of these are the ones that inside are the ones that are classical or jazz or both. We add those up. It was 190. And then we subtract from 244. And that tells us the ones that were not classical or jazz. All right. Let's see if we can. There we go. So I think this is the one we want to come back to. Let's see. 15 is the one. What was 14? Yeah, we'll do that one next. All right, but let's try filling in one. All right, and what they're doing is they're giving us the universal set. So all of these are going to be inside the square somewhere. X is going to have A, E, F, and I in it. Y will have A, B, D, and F in it. And Z will have C, D, E, and F. So my advice is always to start in the center. So in the center, we're going to put the value that's in all three of these sets. Which one will that be? A is not in all
A.
three.
Nope. All
A
three.
is in two, but looks like to be F, right?
Yep. F in the
Yeah,
middle.
so it gonna go in the middle, right? Between
F
X
gonna
Wait a
go.
second. A is not in Z.
F gonna go in the middle.
It's gonna
F's
go in
going to
the
go in the
middle.
middle. It's in all three. All right. So that's the only one that's in all three, I believe, because D is not up here. E is not in that one. And C is only here. It's got to be in all three of them if it goes in the center. Now let's go and do X and Y. Let's do these two. What's common on these two?
A.
A.
A, anything else? No, I and D. It looks like it's just going to be A. So we're going to put A right there.
C.
See if I can, what in the world? There we go. All right. So A is out of the picture now. We can take A
is
out.
coming. Okay. You doing that?
Now let's do Y and Z. What's common between Y and Z? It looks like to be D, right?
D.
D is the common one here. All right. So D is now going. Let's now go to this one here, X and Z, which is the top and the bottom one. So what's common between X and Z? It looks to be E. So we're going to put E right in there. Oh, wait a second. This right here, I messed this up. This D goes in right here. There we go. So watch those things. Sometimes, I don't know, you got to make sure your drop's in the right spot. I meant to put it right there, but it somehow got up there. Because this D was in Y and Z. All right. Now the rest of them are going to go out here or out here. So let's go back to X. Which one have we not taken care of in X?
I.
So I is going to go right there. Here, we're not taking care of B. So we got to put that in. So B is going to go into Y.
C going to C.
And then Z,
C.
it's got C and E, right? It's got two of them. Well, you know what? E is already in there.
Yeah, C.
So it's just C that we got to pull in, and that goes into that only. So we can like we got all of them.
G and H go outside.
And then, now we're essentially taking out the ones we do have. G and H were not in any of the sets. So they go on the outside. Good. All right. All right. So that 020, that evaluation in there, I closed it. So you shouldn't see, it won't be active. So I'll open it up at a later date, probably next week. So if you took it, don't worry about it. It does no going to harm you. But I did want us to do it as a group. And like I said, we had all that trouble at the beginning anyway with the stuff not working. I still don't know what happened. It's like all kinds of demons got into the machine.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's go back and try this one. All right. A pet store surveyed 603 people to know how many had a dog, how many had a bird, and how many had a cat. And there's the Venn diagram. It's already made out for us. So all of these numbers, and remember this for the last problem we're going to look at, all of these have to add up to 603. I trust it but we could add them up and it should all be 603. There's 8 numbers there. But let's go ahead and just pay attention to what the questions are asking about. How many of the people own exactly 2 of these animals? So these people in here own what animals do they own?
They own
Dog,
together.
bird,
Dog
and
and
cat.
bird.
They own 3.
Yeah. All of them own.
All right. So these people out here own how many of those?
152.
No, but how many animals do they own? Do
3
they own a
animals.
dog, a bird, or a cat?
Oh. No.
These are the people who don't own any animals. They own 0 animals.
Right.
All right. So which ones? This is 3. These own 1 animal, 1 animal, 1 animal. So this is the one we're looking for. Which one represents 2? It's this one,
119.
this one, and oops.
63, 57.
Not the 119. I'm sorry, this is the one I meant to erase. You had the 118, right? There we go. So those 3 that are underlined all own 2 of each of the pets. In other words, they have dog and bird, dog and cat, bird and cat.
Bird and cat.
So we're going to add those up, and that will answer the first question.
That's 213.
That sounds about right. All right, so let's answer the next question. We got to pay attention now. It says, don't own a bird. Don't own a bird. All right, so I like to kind of, so
that
if
would
we
be-
kind of cross out the bird,
Would that be 153 plus 63?
see all of the blue, I mean, the whole circle, bird circle, I've got it kind of tried to exit out.
Mhm.
So all of those other persons, the ones that are not hashed out in blue, they don't own a bird. They just own a dog. They own a dog and a cat. They own only a cat. They own a scorpion, a horse, whatever. But neither of these four own a
So
bird.
would it be 215 people don't own a bird?
That's what it looks like. Let's, whoops.
They all own dogs, 152.
So 304.
I missed.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't do the 57. So
Yeah. And
What you did? 152 plus 152.
152, 57, 63, and 32.
Okay, got you.
Because neither one of those are in the bird circle.
I forgot about the ones that don't own neither. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
All right. How many of the people own neither a cat
152.
nor a dog, but do own a bird?
You own a bird.
All right. Let me get all this out so we can kind of show it. So neither a cat nor a dog so I'm crossing out all the cat and dog people. See that? Well, all of those that I've crossed out in blue, that's cat or dog, right?
100. Yep.
So how many own a bird?
200.
How many own a bird?
48.
people.
48. These
Plus the
people we
150.
own.
I'm listening.
We know that they don't own a dog, a cat, or a bird.
Oh, that's right.
But
48.
want to know how many own a bird, but neither one of those other ones.
48.
48.
Felicia, I hope I'll be like this on my test.
Well, take this thing repeatedly. Each time you take this, go back and review it. See which ones you did wrong. Learn how to do them and then do it again.
That's what
Do it again until you get a nice grade.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'll
believe
be
me, it
doing this
works.
weekend. Woo-woo. That's what I'll be doing.
All right. So questions about this one?
No, sir.
Let's go back and do the
Yeah.
culmination problem, the one that's a 3-set Venn diagram that we got to kind of do from scratch. And then they'll ask us not so many questions, but we still got to answer one question. Wait a minute, I think it's supposed to be 14. There we go. So this is now they got the same animals. No, it's a fish in place of a bird. All right.
Cat and a dog.
So a pet store conducted a survey to gather information about types of pets people own. Here are the results. 619 were surveyed in all. 386 of the people own a cat. 48 of the people own both a cat and a dog, but not a fish. And 13 of the people own both a cat and a fish, but don't own a dog.
You went out.
91 of the people own a cat, but neither a fish nor a dog. 31 of the people own a dog, but neither a fish, cat or fish. 33 of the people own a fish, but neither a cat or dog. And lastly, 512 of these people own at least one of these three types. Now, just to read it through. Now, let's see if we can decipher all this. My advice is always to start at the bottom
Everybody own.
and work your way up.
Okay.
So 512 of the people own at least one of these three types of animals. What would that represent circle wise? What would that represent?
The
Yeah,
middle.
middle, the purple in the middle. Nope, no. Yes, right there.
These people own one type, at least one type.
No, all of them.
All of the circles.
All of this.
But it's saying, look what it's saying. At least one.
Of these three.
These right here they own three. That's people who own three. If it said, and there is a problem that will tell you on one of, there's several iterations of this problem. One of them says, such and such a number of people own all three, but this one doesn't say that. So we got to pay attention.
Okay, so that
At
would be
least
at
one.
the
So at least
would be the
one is all
universal
three of
set.
these. It's all of these. Everything in here is at least one, right? This is zero. They don't own any of these animals. They own one animal. They own two, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. So all of these are at least one. So what we can do is I'm going to take the survey right here, 619, minus the 512, and that's going to give us those people that own nada.
Okay.
All right? Because everybody in here is at least one animal, one type of animal. These people out here don't have a cat, a dog, or fish. They have zero of these animals. All right. So now let's work our way up. 33 of the people own a fish, but neither a cat or a dog. Where would that be at? Where are the people that own a fish,
Yeah,
but neither a cat or dog?
right there.
Right there in this one. This is fish only. The same thing as saying fish, but not any other type. So we're going to put 33 here. So we got this one done. We may need to come back to that one. Maybe we'll use that one again, but I'm just going to cross these out because I don't think we'll need them again. 31 of the people own a dog, but neither a cat or fish. So that's going to be
The purple one.
here, right?
Yeah.
31 own a dog only, because that's the same thing as saying, but neither a cat or fish. So 91. See if I can roll back down a bit. So we got this one done.
On a cat.
91 own a cat, but neither a fish nor dog. All right, so that's gone. Now we got to watch because they're going to change what they're asking about now, or what they're telling us. Now it's going to be both a cat and a fish, but not a dog. So
And
both
right there.
a cat and a fish would be right here, wouldn't it?
Yep.
But not a dog.
No. Right
So
there.
the 113 goes right there because that's both a cat and a fish, but not a dog. $48 own both a cat and a dog, but don't own a fish. Don't own a fish. So 48.
Yes.
48 own both a cat, and this is the dog circle, but don't own a fish. So all of those are gone. Now, so everything. I was trying to see if I can scroll this up so we can see, but I guess we're not going to be able to have to come back. All right. So 386 6 people own a cat. How does that help us? What they're saying is the whole red circle contains 386. What are we missing?
They're
Who's
all,
in the middle?
everybody have in common. They owns it together.
Okay, so let's say 91 plus
48.
113 plus 48 are the fish people so far. That's the fish people so far.
Huh?
That's the fish people so far, right? I'm sorry, the cat people. Sorry.
Okay, see.
Oops, I'm sorry. Who was it was talking? I think I accidentally muted you.
What you just
All
added?
right. See these 3 right here?
Yes.
Cat, cat, cat.
Yes.
252. So now, but we're missing a number right here. They never did give us that one. How do we get it? Well, it's really pretty easy because the red has to add up to 386. So we're going to take 386 minus, oops, 386 minus, and so that means that the 134 goes right there. And why? Because all of those now should add up to
386.
386. And that's
Wow.
why they gave it to us. All right. So now we got that one out of the way. So let's see what else we might need and to help us. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go back down to this one because I said is we might need this one again. And I'm going to try to scroll up.
Who that fish and who? Fish and dog. Who that?
Yeah, fish and dog. How can we find the fish and dog people? That goes right there. Well, remember that all of these, we used this information before to find that number because all of these have to add up to 512.
Oh,
Do they add up to 512? Well, 91 plus 113 plus 33 plus 48 plus 134. I'm adding everything up. It's inside those circles.
plus 31.
And so that's 450.
So you subtract 512.
We're going to subtract that from 512.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, this is why this one, it's mainly doing the thing that's the work because they only ask us one question. They're not torturing us too much. So now let's answer this question. How many of the people don't own a dog? And again, if you can't see, I want to take out everything that's not a dog. Everything that I've crossed out is not a dog. And the ones inside of the dog circle are the dog. So the people that don't own a dog are this one, and this one. Because all of these are not dogs, correct?
Yeah.
Anything here is a dog, but it says not a dog. So it's 91 plus 113. What was that? 33 and 107. All right. So let's add those up. And that's all there is to this one. 31 plus 113 plus 33 plus 107. None of those own a dog. 344. All right. So any questions about this? And if there's any questions about any of the other ones, we can come back. If you want to look at another one again, I mean, it's not going to hurt us. We'll also do this the next class, the O2O class. Go back through this. So any questions about this?
I guess do Tuesday.
What's that?
This one do Tuesday, huh? Yes.
Oh, the test is Tuesday, so I would recommend going through this a few times. Don't just take the test cold.
Right. Right. Excuse me.
All right. Any other questions? Let me do
Is there gonna be a time limit on that test? Mike. Mr. Cruz.
I was about to say things started sounding weird. Alicia, can you hear me?
In and out.
Question,
No,
y'all.
we can't hear.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
what happened to the actual review?
I
Is he
think
saying
his thing
This
has
what
been
he's going
That's
through
it.
is the actual review.
okay? So just this, because I know it's so many other sections too.
You go
And
around.
this is a lot. But look,
yeah,
Mr. Cruz, we
have the,
cannot hear you.
I think he's having internet issues.
got their mic open. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can now.
now we can.
Here, because there was about 4 or 5 people had their mic open. All right. So what was it? Did I answer the question?
I want to know, is the test gonna be timed?
So take advantage of this thing. Take it over and over. Because if you just come in and you take that test cold,
Oh my, excuse me.
Mr. Cruz, I think it's on your end. I don't think it's because we have the mics open.
Yeah, I think it's his because it's been acting up since we was in 02,
Okay, well, I'll finish it. If you do not practice this test, then you are not going to understand the actual test. That's what he's going to probably say. I'm just letting you guys know.
But this is a lot of steps. This right here is just a lot of steps.
It is.
That's
And
how
then
it-
I printed out the chapter review one and it's different compared to that, but they have some similar things that he's going through.
he gonna blame it on us. No, it ain't
Mr.
us.
Cruz, we still can't hear you.
Yeah, he's the host, so if he has a bad internet connection, nobody's gonna work right.
Yeah, his computer
Yeah, I
was
know
messing up in the last
how they
class as well.
yeah, I know how they ask us what will
I
we
know I don't
do.
still. I hope it ain't. I just hope it's not timed it. That's a lot of steps, you know?
I don't think it will be time.
I hope
Just
not.
on the simple fact that it is a lot of steps. Just how they ask us what's our black backup plan. They need to have backup plans.
What's that?
Oh my, excuse
There
Oh,
we
you're
go.
back.
me.
It's just a lot to learn, and everything you go to, is different things. So how you gonna ever try to learn one thing when you're going into something? When you click on something else, it's different.
All right. Let me answer that in the chat if people can't hear me because I see my mic is going.
That's because
It's
We
recording.
can hear you now. Yes, we
you
can
keep
hear you
going in
now.
Okay,
and
well,
out.
now quieten up. Let me answer, okay? All right. There's a lot of stuff. That's why you have this review. This review condenses it. Okay? If that path is overwhelming, then concentrate on this review. Concentrate on this review. Because that's a lot of stuff in the path, but it all condenses down to this review. All right?
All right.
So, any specifics? Because I want to go back and look at a few more. We got about a half hour.
Work in school. Oh, Jesus. Oh, excuse me. Mr. Cruz, you do calculus also?
What's that?
You teach calculus also?
No, we don't even offer
Oh, okay.
Why you want to learn about calculus?
Okay.
So whatever you do, just go and concentrate on this stuff.
Now that you can hear, is that test gonna be timed?
Oh yeah, because you got to take it within the class period. Yes. So make sure you got that respondents things working. All right.
I got it working on the 120. I haven't did it in the O2.
Well, we're taking the test in the 120. That's what the main course is. The 020 is where I try to prime you for things that you need to know here. For this chapter, there's not much extra stuff. That's why I went over that with the exponents. That's for the most part, that's the main thing. We also looked a little bit, about the equal sign and the less than and the equal to kind of thing.
Oh my God. I'm tired. It's a long day.
Yeah, okay. That's Ariel asking that question, right? Yeah, the path will never let you forget anything. In other words, if you do not finish the stuff in the path, it's going to stay in there. You're going to get new stuff, and then all that other stuff that was in there is going to stay in there. It never goes away until you master it. All right. So what else we want to look? Let's go back to the beginning on this.
My paper back out.
How about like this with a well-defined set? This takes you back to the beginning and the basics. All right. So what is a well-defined set? What does that mean?
That is not somebody's opinion. It's got a definite.
Great. That's a way to put it. We have to know what's in it. In other words, this they've got Friday nights, a television network airs 4 dramas and 3 sitcoms on a fixed schedule. These 7 shows are the network's Friday night lineup. The network conducted a study that determined how many people watch these shows among 3 groups: men, women, and overall. So they're keeping track of who watches these shows, and they finding out men and women and overall. For each group, the 7 shows were either identified as drama, sitcom, and ordered from most to least watched. So that's what we know. So let's see if we can figure out if this is a well-defined set. The first one, the set containing only the show in the Friday night lineup with the worst cast. What's the problem with that one? Is that an opinion?
That's an opinion.
That's an opinion. So there's no record of that. They don't tell us they keep track of worst shows. So what we're going to do is we're going to say no. The set containing the drama most watched by women and the drama least watched by men in the lineup.
Yes.
Yeah, because they say most watched to least watched. So that's fine. The set of the last 3 shows to air according to the Friday night schedule. Yeah, they know. There's a lineup.
Yeah, lined up.
The set containing only the shows in the Friday night lineup with the worst dressed actors.
Opinion. No.
That's an opinion. Good.
False. Yeah, no.
Oh. And then the last one, the set of the 2 least watched shows overall. That's what this is all about, who's watching. So yeah, that's fine. It doesn't mention any opinion in it.
Yeah.
The least watched and the most watched, it's ranked according to that. All right. So questions about this one?
So that's the definition. Sorry.
Go ahead.
So that's the definition of a set being well defined.
Well defined just means that we can tell what's in it. Okay. And so they're keeping all the info up here about the 3 groups, and then that we know the lineup order, and we also know most to least watched. But there's there's no way to know if about worst dressed actors or worst cast. That's an opinion.
The information is not in the paragraph.
Yeah, it's got to be something that's up here. Let's see what else we got. All right, I think we looked at this one in the last class, last hour, but let's go through this again. Because what this is, it's given a description, and from that description, we should be able to know what's in it. That's a well-defined set. The description should be able to tell us. So what we've got, 2 veterinarians working in an animal shelter, and it tells us fish and gerbils were treated by both Aoki and Harris. So that's both. Birds, snakes, and turtles were treated by Aoki, but not Harris. Cats, dogs, and rabbits were treated by Harris, but not Aoki. All right. And mice were treated by neither Aoki or Harris. Now, if it helps you, you can draw out, and like I said,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not really very good at drawing these freehand, but it can be helpful if it helps you visualize. Oop. So this would be Aoki, I'm going to put here. And then this would be Harris. And I'm going to have a hard time writing these in here. But I'm just going to put F and G for fishing and gerbil. That's a G. So that's fish and gerbil because that's both. Birds, snakes, and turtles were treated by Oki, so B. S for snakes and T for turtles. And then over here, cat, dog, and
Nice.
rabbit.
Rabbit, I mean, yeah, rabbit.
And then what goes
Nice.
on the outside?
Nice.
Nice.
Just mice. All right. So now, if you have it like that, see, it brings it all back to this concept of the sets and visual. And that's why we introduced that Venn diagram. So these things all tie together. There's not as many different things as you think. So let's answer the questions now. We want, from this description, to write them out in roster form. We're going to list the names of the animals. The set of animals at the shelter treated by Dr. Harris.
FG.
So that's going to be
Fish.
fish, gerbil,
Cat.
cats, dogs, and what
rabbit.
was the last one?
Rabbit.
Rabbits.
Yep.
So fish, gerbils, cats, dogs, rabbits. Because all of those are in the H circle. All right. So these, let's determine what these are because there'll be a bunch of them in there. Let's see if we can describe it first. Let's write the description and then we'll match up. Fish, gerbils, birds, snakes, turtles, cats, dogs, and rabbits. So what it's doing is it's giving us everything but what?
The mice.
Everything but mice. So this right here, that's what we call the union. That's the union of Aoki and Harris. So they treat all of the animals but mice. So that's the Aoki or Harris or both. And is that one in here? There it is. Have your mind decided before you go into this, because you see they got all those different ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the union. That's anything that's in the two circles. Aoki, Harris, and both. All right, so on this one, it's birds, snakes, turtles, and mice. So it's these right here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's everything that's not Dr.
Harris. Yeah.
Harris. Not Dr. Harris. And there we got it. Because if you read through all those, you're going to freak out. Write it before, describe it before, and then when you go, you match up your answer. All right. So any questions about that?
Sir.
All right, let's go on to 3. We got a couple more here to do. Okay, yeah, this is a good one because equivalent and equal is a good thing. What does equivalent mean versus equal?
Equivalent things that are similar. They got a set. similar elements.
What does similar mean? Is there a definition of similar, or is that like best elements or worst dressed or something like that? What does equivalent mean? There's a standard definition for it.
Equivalent will have the same number of elements, but they
Two
don't have
sets that are equivalent have the same number of elements.
Thank you.
Equal sets have what?
Identical
The exact same elements.
elements. Okay. I gotta remember
So
that.
equal sets have the exact same elements. Equivalent have the same number or the same count of elements.
Gotcha.
So on this one here, are these the same? Maybe they're different order or something. Are they the same? Is A the same as B? They both got a J, they both got a K, but
No, they got the same number.
but they're not the same. They're not equal. But how many elements in A? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many is in B? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that tells us that they are equivalent, but not equal. The set of integers greater than 17 and less than 21. Well, the only thing we can do is write it out. That's the safe thing to do. So A is going to have in what? It's not odd or even, so
18,
it's anything greater than 17. So 18, 19, 20, and that's it. Because it's less than 21. It doesn't include 21. So the set of integers greater than 17, so that'd be 18, 19, 20, 21.
And so on.
But it doesn't stop though.
Infinity, yep.
It's an infinite set. So this has 3 in it. This has infinite. So they're not the same numbers.
No, neither equal.
So it's neither. Good. Same thing on A. We got to know what's in that A before we can. So it's the set of odd numbers greater than 12. Greater than 12.
15, 17.
Oops. And 19, right?
Yeah.
It's less than 20.
Less than 20. So we're not going up because 20 is not odd anyway. So those are all odd and they're all between 12 and 20. Now, this one's got 3 elements in it. This has got 4. So this is another
Neither.
neither. What about that last one?
They both equivalent and equal.
What about the order?
It doesn't matter.
All right, you're good, good. Yeah, the order doesn't matter. And also too, if we have a repeated element, it will not change the value of the set. So these are, which one? This one or this one?
Both.
Both. Because they both have 3 as well as being the same 3 elements. How come we never did pick this one in either one of those cases? How come we didn't pick that one? Equal but not equivalent. Because equal sets
They had the same.
would be equivalent just by nature. So if they're equal, they will be equivalent. So this right here, just remember, that's never an answer, that second one. All right, questions about this before we move to another one? We might have enough time for another one. That might be about it. I think we covered everything else. All right. Anybody got any specifics? Any other kind of stuff? I got everybody on here. Let me just go back through and make sure on a couple of them.
I gotta spend more time with them. You
Cruz, I can't hear you.
ain't say nothing.
Can you hear me?
I
Yeah,
can
we
hear
can
you.
now.
So I'm just calling the people that I don't see on the roster. I mean, on the
You had a couple of people logged off. Left.
well,
Yeah, about
they gotta let me know they're here. Kaylee Edwards out there? I didn't see Kaylee. Is Mariah out there? I didn't see Mariah. Jacqueline, I didn't see. And Miriam, I didn't see. Is Miriam out there? And I think that was it. All right, so I got to. Rest of the class is just open to whatever you want to ask.
the review. The review. It's gonna be graded.
Yeah, but it's not graded where you have to worry about it. Everything in the course has got a grade that you do. But here's the thing is, if you just go and take the test, which is worth
I'm not doing that.
points, and this is worth, maybe less than 1 point, you want to use this one to practice because it's there and it's judgment about the big judgment of a grade. But here's the thing, and I want you to pay attention to this. Everything is layered. The path, if you keep up with it, leads into the review. All right. The review then leads into the test. And then each of the tests lead into the midterm and the final exam. The midterm and the final exam are the big dogs. All right. So that's
So
the
everything
main.
that's on the question,
What's
everything
that?
that's on the test, everything that we test gonna be on our midterms, right? All our
Well,
tests.
yeah, to midterm, and then on the final exam, everything throughout.
All right, different chapters.
So, like I said, you're not going to be able to do everything. So if you're not feeling like you can't stay up with that path, then jump to the review. Start working on that. All right. Work it a bunch of times. Work it a bunch of times. Do it until you feel comfortable with it. If you can do that on the reviews, you should do fine on the test. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm still here, so
Question, Mr. Cruz.
Right.
This test review, does it count for like a grade too, or is it just review, just practice?
In the class is for a grade. Yes. Everything that you get is in the 120. All right.
Okay.
Everything is for a grade, but remember, it's a test prep, so it's worth very little. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's to have a non-threatening and a grade that's not so impactful grade. So you can take it multiple times, and the last grade is going to be the one that's going to be used, but it won't affect your overall average as much as a test will, and certainly not as much as the midterm exam will, because that midterm exam is worth the same as all of my tests put together. But everything in here, it's for a grade in the 120.
All right.
So Tuesday I'll see you. But like I said, I'm gonna hang out here in case you got something. If you want to talk in private, or if you want to hang around with not so many people, just stick around.
Alicia, were you the one asking about if it was timed?
Yeah, he said he answered it.
Yeah, it's time. See, this one is ran out of
Respondents is
time.
also going to watch you through video too, just to.
I can't never get into it. The YouTube videos.
Okay, did you see where I put them at in the syllabus? I
Yeah.
sent out an announcement about it.
Yeah, but when you click on it, you still got to put a password in.
Did you see where I put them? Did you read that announcement about it?
When okay, I'm gonna
Look.
go back again.
Because I understand what you're talking about. It's a pain in the neck to share those. That's why I did it like this.
Oh, go into
See?
the settings.
See? Right there. I'm gonna in the morning when this one video comes down, I'm gonna put it right there.
Yeah, I need to go watch those older ones too.
You're gonna put it right there?
Well, when it comes down in the morning, it takes it a while to create the video, the recording. It doesn't just, it's not just I don't know, it takes an hour or two. So in the morning, I'll put it in there.
Yeah, right. I've been trying.
Remind me if it's not there. But
Alright.
anyway, I'll put it there. I should remember that. I'll making myself a note. Because like I said, yes, in order to get the recording to share it, you gotta wait till it's done. Then I gotta share it. I gotta send out an invitation with the password. So I'm just downloading it up to YouTube and putting the link there. So that way you don't have to worry about a password.
Okay. So it being our settings, okay. But you can put them all in there. Okay. Oh Lord.
So what's the matter?
I just my thing is going back over those I understand the union when we were doing it like that, but like when
Like
we
what?
got paper. I just gotta remember the steps, the rules. Like when it got B and it had a U and then it had
Right.
another subset. And I just gotta remember the steps so when it got the U in it to bring them all together and eliminate.
Yeah, I mean it's multiple steps. So you start out on the inside, or you start with the most complicated part, and then you work outward.
Yeah, okay.
If it's got parentheses, you do the parentheses first.
All right.
And if it's inside the parentheses, there's a complement, you do the complement first, then do what's inside the parentheses. Then you take what's inside the parentheses once it's done and put it together with what's on the outside.
Okay,
using
so
whatever
basically
symbol.
work it out like order operation from left to right.
Exactly. That's the one place where this is like mathematics. It works just like that, inside out.
Okay.
Order of operations. Inside, go to your parentheses, find the most complicated thing, do that, put it together with what's inside the parentheses. Then you take what's inside the parentheses and put it together with what's on the outside. That's generally the way it works. Most ones have 3 steps.
3 steps, right.
There's some in there that's just got 1.
I'm gonna get to doing that review test because I've been doing my plan. So
have you been keeping up with it, or are you behind on it?
I'm keeping up.
Because like I said, don't get too bent out of shape on the plan. Jump to this, and you can still work on.
But I've been doing the plan, keeping up. I should have been focusing on this.
Well, the reason this just opened up the last class. But the other thing's been open from the very beginning, so that's why
I'm caught up.
You don't want to do this until you've done as much of that path as you can.
I'm so far. Oh no, I think I got that one. Can we do that one again?
Okay. See, so what you do is until you know what this is, you can't union it with A. So you find B complement. So you remember how we found the complement? You go up to the universe, take out the 1, 6, and 8. What's left over, the 3, 4, and 5 is your complement. So you take that and put it together. It's a union with what's in A, and that's it.
Okay.
This one, you need to find A complement as well. You already got B complement. So you do A complement, and
The
then you
screen gone.
B complement and find out what's in common.
Your screen gone.
Gone.
Yeah, it just got you up there. Alexa is out. It's gone.
Oh,
Yeah,
it might be because of the
timing on
the length.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna work on it. I must get on that review. Thank you so much. And also, I'm gonna send you email.
Have the time before class, and we'll, just relax. We're gonna. All right.
All right. See you soon. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Alrighty. See you Tuesday.
All right. Bye bye. Does
All right.
anybody else got a question?
Mr. Cruz,
Mhm.
I was looking at your test 1 chapter 2 review. I printed it
Where are
out,
you
but
looking at? Where are you looking at?
120. The one for
What I
120.
mean, remember, everything that's important is in Alex.
Okay.
If
so
I
don't even worry
understand what
about
you're
this.
looking at, you're going to modules and you're looking at those PDF ones, right?
Yeah, so don't worry about
If you
that
like
one.
them, then that's fine. But
Okay.
this right here is more closely what's going to be on the test. Just remember that.
Okay.
It's the same material.
Mhm.
That's kind of if it were a paper test. And the reason why those are there is
Mhm.
because every now and then there's a student that does, they get confused by the electronic stuff. So that's why that's there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
I mean,
Well, I'll
it's
be
not
doing
anything
this.
extra. It's not extra or anything. But if you like it and it helps you, then do it. But
Okay.
that's
All
not
right. Well,
graded.
no, the one
Everything
that's
on Alex
mainly
is
is
graded.
Alex.
Yeah, everything is on
Okay.
Alex is graded.
Okay. And I figured out why I couldn't be able to get into the 2.2.
Mhm.
I started like 2 days ago when I was doing the other one, and I knew that it rolled over to 2.2 and I started it, but what happened was since we started doing the practice review right now, it needed to submit it and then I could open
Right.
it
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was actually showed that if I was
Yeah.
at one point, because once you open up this
It won't
review,
let
you
you.
got to submit
Okay.
it before you can go back to anything else, including the test. So you got to have this test submitted. If you have the test open, you can't open anything else. And if you got
Gotcha.
the review open, you can't go to the test or go back to the path until this is
Okay.
submitted. Yeah.
Well, I'll be working hard for this class.
All right.
I'm
Well,
trying my
just
hardest. Thank you.
hang in there. Don't get too worked up
No.
about it. I know it's a lot.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you so much, though.
All
Appreciate it.
right.
Have a great
Bye.
night. Bye-bye.
You know
Hey,
All
Mr.
right, thank you, Mr. Cruz.
what's up?
I'm sorry, I think you answered this, but are we allowed to have like a piece of scratch paper?
You will not be able to have them for the midterm and the final, but for
Okay.
this first one, if you want to. But just remember, if it helps you to have a few things, just remember for the midterm, you cannot have anything. All right.
Okay,
And
that
you're being
makes sense.
recorded and all that. So the reason why I tell people you have to be careful with that is just because if you have to go through and sift through too many things while you're taking tests, you're going to time out,
Yeah, that makes
because
sense.
people don't realize how much time it takes to look through things. But I'm going to have actually one that's open book later on. In other words, it'll be open and then you can work on it during a given period of time.
Well,
And
I mean just
so,
like a blank piece of paper, because like especially doing like the compliments when I
oh,
try to.
you mean like scratch to write on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You see how I'm writing on here? That's
Yeah.
my paper. That's my paper. So yeah, that you need. I thought you were talking about bringing a cheat sheet.
Oh no, just
Yeah.
the like being able
I'm
to like
just
write stuff out.
I just have to realize that for the midterm and the final, you can't have any outside notes at all. For
Okay.
my tests, and I'll police it and I'll let you know if I see you doing too much of that. But yeah, scratch paper. Yeah, you can have paper.
Okay, thank you.
Paper calculator, writing utensil.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.